So, why permanently temporary? Because the excuse of the temporary program, the workers program, was that we are short of something. And we need to fix that situation very fast, and we start bringing people. But we have been short in terms of labor for 50 years now. So the whole concept of temporary become permanently, you know what I mean? And you introduce it to the system in that way. This system that we have in Canada is way more humanitarian than the system that the United States has. Because in the United States is illegal market. So you come, illegal people work, Immigration Canada comes, the Americans come, they remove it, and it's a rotation that is done by the same authorities, no? And great, nobody pay pension, nobody pay Medicare, nobody do anything. So the whole cheapest labor included in the illegal market, labor market, is part of the productivity of the agrarian economic sector of the United States, for instance. So in Canada, in a level scale and doing it legally, we create a temporary workers program that is permanently. It's permanently because the only thing that change is the name of the person sometimes, and sometimes not even that one. So, and that was the name of a seminar or conference that we organized in Toronto, no? To talk from that perspective. So, why I put the name of that? Because I want to base that presentation in the rights and access of these people. You know what I mean? What they have access to. Okay? What are the rights? What services do they have access to? Okay, and that became very interesting. According to Immigration Canada, temporary foreign workers have the right as a permanent resident. You can read the CIC website. That's what they said? Exactly like permanent residents, no? Permanent residence is denied with the following exceptions, no? Permanent residence is denied to workers whose skills are deemed to be low. Okay? There is no systemic follow-up on employers, you know, about anything. And only employers who have consented to participate in the labor market opinion pilot project are required to demonstrate that they pay the wages and they respect the benefits, and only voluntarily. So it's a big difference with the permanent residents, no, I think, but they said, no, they are the same rights. In practice, there is no way to track how well this is managed, because the Minister of Labor is not involved. The settlement organizations, we are not involved. The farms or factories are private property, so you are not allowed just to get in and, hey, can I check how they are doing? So, while the foreign worker is not deemed able to work, they are sent home, you know, and this is it, and no obligations. So in practice, it's not true that the temporary worker has the same rights than a permanent resident of Canada. CPP, no? This is the Canadian Pension Plan. Eligibility. Foreign workers who contribute to CPP will be entitled to the same benefits as Canadian citizens. But look, in the event of loss of income due to retirement, disability, and death, temporary. How they are going to retire here in Canada? So employers are by law required to deduct the pension and to pay it and to contribute and everything. And pension is payable in Canadian dollars to contributors. So if you read that in the website, you say, wow, this is just great. So after 31 years, this guy can come and retire in Canada and collect Canadian pension and everything will be fine. When the workers are gone from the country, there is not a mechanism to access pension. The only way that they do is that every year, the Canadian pension plan give them back the money that have been deducted from them. And that's like a cleaning their hands. Well, here is the money. Nice to see you. So what would be the solution? The solution will be that without contributions, plus contribution from the employer, if we can have programs back home to ease the adaptation of the workers into the economic situation in Mexico, Jamaica, wherever they come from. Business-oriented programs, placements, trainings, whatever, no? Nothing. So in that case, what they say in the website of Immigration Canada, even though it's a good intended or well intended, that's the reality. I don't know if you have another experience, but that's the reality. They don't have access to it. Okay, eligibility for employment insurance. Eligibility requirements are the same for temporary foreign workers as Canadian citizens and permanent residents. Temporary foreign workers are eligible to receive regular and sickness employment insurance and benefits and, meet the criteria for eligibility and all this stuff. Temporary workers who are pregnant or caring for a newborn adopted child, aware of those, then serious ill with a significant risk of death, be eligible for employment insurance benefits. Do you see something weird there? We just accept that if you're sick or whatever, you go home, no? How they will have access to this? Do you think that an employer is going to keep a pregnant worker? So in practice, when foreign worker is not deemed able to work, they are usually sent home, and there is no way for them to collect the employment insurance benefits, which they are forced to pay into. And that money is not returned to them. The Canadian pension, yes, because they are not going to live here. But the insurance, no. Why? Because technically, if you are not working because you are ill, you are breaking the conditions of the work permit. You know what I mean? So you are not eligible to this. And most of the time, in order to meet the criteria, how many weeks do you have to work? Huh?
Depends on the region.
It's hours.
But in Ontario?
600 hours. 900 for your first claim.
900 for the first time.
Okay. So some of them don't even have that hours when that happened. So, and they have to wait for how many days in order to receive the free checks if you qualify?
Yeah.
So you are removed. So that's a serious problem, no, in terms of the employment insurance. Okay, eligibility to health. So you have the information in front of you, just in case that you want to take notes. Temporary foreign workers are entitled access provincial hospital and medical insurance coverage, no? Said clearly in the program. Each province has a specific waiting period for the workers to be eligible. OHIP. Eligibility requirements are valid for work permit for 6 months. The waiting period is 3 months. Nice, huh? So if you come here to work, you may be eligible for 6, but the first 3 months are over. In practice, there is no way to know how much, if any, of the employees are covering health costs for the 3 months that the foreign workers don't have coverage from a HIP. And temporary workers are not informed that they are entitled to apply for a HIP.
Yeah.
So they are here for months and they don't apply for a HIP. Unbelievable. No, we go to the farms and we go to the places and say, have you applied? Well, how? I'm working from Monday to Saturday. They are not allowing me to go anywhere. So how do you think? And the Ministry of Health doesn't allow us to pick the application and go and present it in their behalf because it's a personal process. And they don't have the resources to go and register the persons to the workplace, then there's the other solution. So in that case, the whole eligibility for OHIP is only for people that are working in the city and they have managed to have a free day, like a Tuesday or Wednesday, you know, then they can do different things and they can visit a settlement organization that enforce the rights or whatever. But in the practical terms, we believe that around 80% of the people that come to Ontario in this program don't apply for OHIP at the end of the period of time. It's very cruel, though. Eligibility to workers' compensation. It's the employer's responsibility to arrange workers' compensation benefits. What happened if the worker never received record of employment? So what happened if the employer doesn't do the record of employment? What happened if the record of employment is not fair? You know what I mean? For instance, what is one of the problems that we have? They sign an agreement or a contract that they are going to work at least 35 hours a week. $15 an hour, fine. When they come here, because sometimes it's agriculture, so they are not allowed to work 5 days because it's raining, so they make them to work 40 hours in 2.5 days. So it's a level of exploitation that is unbelievable. So what the labor law said, if you are forcing someone to work extra hours after 8 hours, you know what I mean, how much you have to pay, the payment has to be different, you have to have a compensation in terms of time to rest, forget it. So this is a serious problem because the reports are done, 35 hours. Don't say in how many days they did that ones. Or they make them to work more than 40 hours a week, but they pay them for work. So have you picked the bunch of, for instance, the onion, these green onions? Or, you know, they come in bunches, no? So these people are paid not per hour, they are paid per bunch.
Piecework.
Piecework, okay. So what happened? They said, this is the box. It's a space for 42 pieces or bunches. We will pay you for the box $10. So how many do you make an hour? It's up to you. So if at the end you manage to make in full day 3 boxes, you receive $30 when you are entitled to $95 or $100 per day. Who checked that one? So that's the kind of problem that we have with the compensation on the benefits, though. Okay, so that's basically the law. So what happened in practice? No monitoring mechanism, all communication with citizenship and immigration, and through paper or through the phone. So it's not possible that someone go and make a complaint. Are not the same as having person inspected working conditions, because in paper the conditions are ones and in reality are other ones. Language and isolation prevent workers from connecting with the right people. No? So that happened in practice. Housing, not eligible. They are eligible for public housing here? So they are eligible for the house that the employer provides. And God bless you. Because if it's a good employer, you can have a nice place to stay and whatever. If not, it's a dorm. When they put 40 people in one dorm, and sometimes during winter and no very good heating system.